As we mentioned, global anger over these kidnappings is growing. The question now, how can the international community help to get these girls back? For some answers, let's bring in Nii Akuetteh. He's with Trans Africa and is the former executive director of Africa Action. I know this is something you've been asking for some time, U.S. involvement, haven't you?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So tell me, how long ago did you start saying there was a need, and it's been quite a while?
Oh, about 5 years ago when they first started, because, you know, this comes in the aftermath of 9/11 with all kinds of terrorist cells across Africa. And Boko Haram has been particularly difficult, and the Nigerian military has had its hands full. Sometimes they go overboard. They've been accused of human rights violations, which is true, but they haven't been able to bring the situation down. So ever since they came into the news, many of us who work on Africa issues here have been saying this is more than a problem for just Nigeria, and the United States, with its own intelligence capabilities and experience of dealing with Al-Qaeda, we thought that they should support the Nigerians and help and train them, infiltration, intelligence, and all that. So finally, I'm glad we are seeing some help.
Talk to me about the degree of difficulty facing the Nigerian military, even with this assistance from the United States. It's very, very tough, isn't it?
It is tough because no less a person than the Nigerian president himself said that there are individuals, both in the government and outside, who might have sympathy and therefore may be clandestinely assisting Boko Haram, and that makes it very difficult. Moreover, the area in which they are centered, within 100 miles, you can go into 4 different countries: Central African Republic, Niger, Cameroon, and so they easily cross borders. But this is where I think American embassies in the area can also help, because they have their own intelligence and they should be able to see where some of these girls are being taken.
Talk to me about some of the other dynamics too, because I saw the Associated Press is saying that the soldiers, they're reportedly demoralized. This group is more heavily armed than they are, better equipped. In some cases, these military only get 1 meal a day. And then you have the families that are frantic. This is all kind of a cauldron, and it's all being stirred about.
No question about it. No question about it. You know, Nigeria, I mean, has a number of challenges, including corruption, including inefficiencies in government. And yes, the security forces are not very well treated, and therefore all that comes into play. Yes, it is true that Boko Haram is more motivated, maybe even better equipped. I mean, they showed up in the school with trucks and uniforms of the military and told the girls that they were there to take them to safety. Now, a good military should be able to have seen that coming.
And Nii, I want to talk to you. You brought up Al-Qaeda, you brought up 9/11. There's been so much focus on the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, Afghanistan, Pakistan, by the West.
Right.
And yet we're seeing episodes, Somalia, we've got Al-Shabaab with the attack in Nairobi at the shopping mall. We've got issues in Mali. Just last week, I think there was another 9 deaths there, and now this. Is this kind of, what are we seeing in the area? Give us a broader picture of the region itself.
Of course, I think these are sort of sparks from the whole 9/11 issue and Al-Qaeda, but it's sparks that are catching fire because of local conditions. So in fact, a lot of the people that I work with, our #1 issue has been that a good way to dampen all this is to push for democratic governance so that people feel that they have a say. They may not agree, but they can talk, their voices can be heard. And incidentally, this is why I have very little sympathy for Boko Haram, because Nigeria has lived under dictatorship for more than 30 years, and they did not arise. But Nigeria turned towards democracy. It's nowhere near a perfect democracy, but you people speak out. There are elections. In fact, they have elections next year. So if Boko Haram, some of the things they have said they want, they don't have to use violence for it. If they want to address poverty, they can do that peacefully. They want to address corruption, you run for office. They want to change the law to Sharia. There are peaceful avenues. So I'm convinced they are just a bunch of very violent people. And I'm glad that finally Nigeria is getting the world's attention and help. I hope they take it and take it quickly and use it. And of course, the first priority is to find the girls because of the heartbreak among families in Nigeria.
Absolutely. Nii Akuetteh, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it.